just gonna skip the, starting soon screen. It's fine. Hi, everybody! We're working on character sheet today. Let me get, Twitch open up on my computer real quick. So I don't have to split screen it. Can I see it? Here we go. But yeah, no, so, we just have to do spells, and then we pick out stuff for the mythic stuff. Because we got another mythic rank. For Sainty Boy. Which, like, heck yeah. Go to channel, please. So I can watch, Twitch chat. Thank you, computer. The little war machine that could. There it goes. Yippee! Alright. So we're going to get some music real quick. In the meantime, channel. Where's my playlist? I'm gonna do the Kawaii one.
At Michigan Auto Law.
And how about no ads, please? 9. None of that. There we go. It should repeat. We will see if it does or not. Make sure it's not too loud. It is a little loud. There we go. There. I think that's fine. Alright, so back to this. So we need to do our spells. So we are going to go over to Blood Rager. Blood Rager. Oh wait, I need to choose my bloodline real quick. I don't think I was gonna go with Abyssal. I think I was gonna go with the Arcane bloodline. Just because she comes from a, she wasn't, like, infected at birth by the Abyssal stuff. That happened after she got turned into a Warforged, so... her having some more magic-based blood raging would be kind of cool. And work really well as a disruptor for Saint stuff. If she needed to keep him under control. Yeah, no, I'm probably gonna do that. So... the Arcane Bloodline gives some feats. So it gives Combat Reflexes, Disruptive, Improved Initiative, Iron Will, Power Attack, which we already get for free, Quick Draw, and Spellbreaker. Bonus spells, magic missile, invisibility, lightning bolt, and dimension door. Oh dear god. Level 10's gonna be terrifying. Imagine a 6'6", 3,000 pound, well, not 3,000, I think she's more along the lines of 300. Either way, big Warforged that's raging, coming after you. Oh no! Especially if it's invisible! That's nightmare fuel! The animatronics get a little wonky at night! No! It's really funny she gets Magic Missile, because she does not have the dex for that. Seraphim does not have the dex for it. I mean, if you were walking around, that makes sense. Shift, Arcane. Arcane Bloodline. Gods have mercy upon anything. So her spell list. I'm gonna move Saint's bit over here. So Arcane Bloodline. I don't have anything weird going on with my Blood Rager stuff either. I'm just a straight Blood Rager War Priest. Because I didn't want to do anything funky with the archetype. That makes sense. Walking around a lot will make your feet tired. God, the Blood Rage powers sound so cool! When you Blood Rage, Arcane Power transforms you into an Arcane Juggernaut who can cut down even the most powerful caster. I love it! Blood Rager is probably, most of the hybrid classes of Pathfinder 1st Edition are some of my favorite classes. And then you got Vigilante, which is just a superhero. You literally play a superhero. You play Spider-Man, or Clark Kent, or Batman, but in medieval times. It's great. I love it. I don't have any Viges. It's really hard to do a Vigilante in the West March. Because we're kind of post-apocalyptic and Vigilantes are a little bit more urban-themed. So we get Disruptive Blood Rage. So the DC to cast spells defensively increases by 2 for enemies within your threatened area. Oh, it stacks with Disruptive? Oh no! Oh no. Does it go up? Hang on, let me check. Does it go up? Okay, no, it doesn't go up. It just increases by 2. So, you give them a -6 to cast spells around you when you're blood raging. So if they're within your threatened range, which, depending on your size, I almost went all redneck there for a second. Size. Depending on your size, that can be anywhere between, normally our biggest size is large. So that's anywhere between 5, 10 with a pole arm, or 15, no, 20 with a pole arm. No. 15. It's 15 with a pole arm. If you're large. Yeah. That's insanity! It's 10 to 15! Total! Front range! Just heck any spellcaster that gets in within arm's distance. You will just throw hands. These hands were rated E for everyone, even the finger wigglers. Oh no! Arcane Blood Rage. At 4th level, when entering the Blood Rage, you choose... Oh, when entering Blood Rage, you can choose one of the following spells and apply its effects to yourself. Oh no! So, 2 of these are terrifying. Luckily, we can only apply one for free and have to use the other one on a spellcast, but one of them is Blur, which is like a gimme. Obviously, I would want Blur. But the other one that I'm like, because it's 4 spells, it's Blur, Protection from Arrows, Resist Energy, or Spider Climb. Imagine! This bloodline can be chosen by any Blood Rager, mind you. Imagine you piss off the barbarian, and then they start climbing the walls like a psychotic spider. I hate everything about this. I hate everything about this. Oh no, and I can also use Divine Power. Things just keep getting worse for them. I mean, I have full base attack bonus anyways, but oh dear god. I'm pretty sure I have full BAB. Hang on, let me look at War Priest real quick. I'm pretty sure I have full BAB. What? Frog, lick, and then toads throw mouth at food? That's been a joke between me and partner for a while about frogs and toads. Guess we were both wrong. Yeah, no. All toads are frogs, but not all frogs are toads. Because they're part of the same family. Let me see here. So level 9. Also get a bonus fee, but I'm pretty sure... No, I don't get... Ooh, yeah, no, so... Divine Favor would work really well with this. No, I am a full BAB, never mind. Divine Favor doesn't matter. Divine Favor doesn't matter. because we use 3.5 with Pathfinder derivative, if there's a better version of the spell or feat in 3.5, you take that instead of what Pathfinder gives you. So we use 3.5 power attack and divine favor. Hello, Suga! Welcome, welcome, hun! I am MomoYumeko, magical girl training. I do cozy streams, TTRPG streams, and gaming over here on IRIAM and a few days a week over on Twitch. Welcome, welcome. We're doing, pretty much just a cozy, just yapping stream while I work on TTRPG sheets for the West March I'm in. We're just chilling. I'm making war crimes. Yippee! To be fair, Saint's whole, sheet is just a walking war crime. Wait, do I have my... Let me make sure. Okay, I do have it turned on. I'm just gonna turn that off real quick. There we go. Hey, Martyrdom! Welcome, welcome, hun. I normally don't do this because, you know. Well, either way, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, Jay. Thank you, Jay. My gosh, my brain is not working. Hi, Star. Welcome, Star. How are you today, hun? I'm doing pretty good. I'm working on a character sheet for the West March I'm in. Yeah, I hit the mini goal yesterday. Yeah, we got frog. I think that's what sparked the frog debate. Are cats allowed to have chocolate? I don't think so. Yeah, because I think it's the tannins that are in it. They can't, digest it. Don't give the bunny chocolate! I don't think bunnies can have... Can bunnies have chocolate? Hang on. Can bunny eat chocolate? The first thing I see is no! All caps. Rabbits should never eat chocolate. Because it has theobromine and caffeine in it. Which are highly toxic to rabbits and cause severe symptoms like restlessness, diarrhea, high heart rate, tremors, or even death. If your rabbit has eaten chocolate, it is important to contact a veterinarian immediately. Jay, I think I know why your rabbit had that. I think I know why your bunny made a lot of chocolate. Because, like I said, it causes diarrhea and such. It'd be poisonous to them. Answer to this real quick. Ah, I see, I see. My cat likes pudding, as long as it's not chocolate pudding. You don't want to feed them tannins. Oh! IRIAM has been putting ads on Roblox? Brother! That's like prime child territory. If you're... IRIAM, you're testing my patience. Oh, thank you for the big heart, Spark! Welcome! Yeah, no, freaking... IRIAM! Quit inviting the children in! That's why we've been having an uptick of Roblox users. Oh, heck yeah! Don't. Listening to music. Yeah, no, I think I was getting that a little bit of an idea too of that. Just going off of how they were talking. I was kind of sussing them out, especially with how their profile looked. I normally... Yeah, no, I agree. I'm sitting there... So, my biggest reason of joining IRIAM was that it was an 18+ platform. I'm not a babysitter. I do smite without condemn, which I am actually going to real quick do something real fast. There we go. Just because they do seem very childish. Gosh darn it. As soon as I do that... Yeah, no, it's bad. There we go. Bot blocked. Bonk. Yeah, no, that's why... It hasn't been too bad, but that's probably because I've been doing boring, like, titles for my IRIAM streams. So it's pretty much if people like to come around, they come around. But yeah, no, it's bad. It's so bad. Ads, for Twitch, and you guys are getting ads in about 5 minutes. But yeah, no, it's annoying. It's been an influx lately, because of what Star said, apparently. They're advertising on Roblox, which is a kid website. It is built for children. If you're running an 18 plus freaking app that's intended to be 18 plus, why are you putting your ads out on Roblox? Like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna rant for a minute. Like, I'm seeing IRIAM ads all over, like, YouTube Shorts and everything else. As far as I knew, it was an unconfirmed rumor. I do want screenshots. If anybody does play Roblox, I'm not gonna judge you. I don't personally play Roblox. But Star said it. I'm gonna check into it and see if it's true. Like, as recently. I need to check into it. If they are, anger. Angry magical girl. Because we don't need more children. We already deal with enough. We deal with enough kids. And, like, it's so annoying. It's annoying. Yeah, no, they don't. It's literally just showing off, a few VTubers. And that's it. And I want to be told that they are changing the age restrictions. So I can tell my mods. Exactly. We love kids, but it's for both the safety and our safety and theirs. Exactly. That's why I normally apologize to people and tell them, hey, you know, I'm sorry you can't be a part of my community because you are underage and this is to protect both my viewers and you, because we talk about a lot of heavy stuff sometimes. Or play games that are very heavy. Like, I would not want children watching me play Warframe, the war crime simulator. Because I also plan on doing a playthrough back through the story. And that's not something for a kid to see. Yeah, no, I normally ask where I check out their profile. Or, Jay normally is pretty good about checking out the profile. And sussing them out. I heard my name. I was giving you praise because you're normally pretty good at sussing out the minors. The chillins. Just doing my job. Yeah, but you're still allowed to get praise for it. So, first level Actually, let me change the back to Bree script, and we're going to 14. Because, like,
knows that if you're a school custodian,
cleanliness
is your top priority. That's why
I don't want kids in here. My legs needs praise for walking all day. Hey, at least you're being healthy. Yippee! Got 450. Let's go. Why does it hate me? This hates me. There we go. Please, just loop. I don't know why it doesn't loop. Yeah, 10 stream streak. Hi, audio! Hello! But yeah, no. That's why I have everywhere on my stuff that I am an 18+ streamer. Like, everywhere. Everywhere I can put it on. You open up my profile, you get hit with my banner that says 18+ only. Pretty sure it's pretty quick on my thing too. Yeah, it's quick on my about me on Twitch end, which Twitch end is normally not that bad. Twitch end we've only had in my like what 3 weeks of streaming on here. We've only had one minor. You're good. You're good, Spark. But yeah, no, if I find out that they're advertising on Roblox, of all places, I will riot. I'm emailing somebody. Because I don't think that's safe. Yeah, sure, it's an ad area, but I do not think that's safe. For the streamers or for the kids. Like, don't say that your app is going to be 18+. Put all of the moderation on your streamers. And then get upset when the streamers are like, hey, throw us a bone, please. And there's so many streamers that are like, oh, it's not their job, they're just a streaming platform. And it's like, you're employing us under the pretense that we are we're gonna be an 18+ platform. You are lying to your talents. I know it's not an agency, but there are a lot of people that yell about it. Yeah, if it's, it could be like a role ad, if it is. I don't know Roblox, I don't ever go on Roblox. But I will be big mad if it is true. Also, hi Derek, welcome, welcome. Anyways, back to doing spell stuff. enough ranting about stream area. So we're gonna do up to 2nd level spells for now, so I don't overload myself. Man, this app is slowly starting to get harder to stream on sometimes. On one hand, I love streaming here. On the other hand, I dread it. I dread it sometimes, and I hate that. I don't like feeling that way. You know? It's bad. Bad vibe. Okay, so we need our spells. So we get Magic Missile from our Bloodline. It might be easier to do it on Twitch, honestly. I can point you in the direction for if you only have a phone to stream off of. Prism is something that you can use with a PNG tuber model. If you end up choosing not to do IRIAM. If you have a computer, VOTube Mini is good for PNG tuber models. I can actually show that off on Twitch end. Yeah. I don't know if it's showing up on here. Yeah. I don't have the sound going off on here. I need to swap over to... There we go. Yeah, I have it set up so when I'm playing Monster Hunter Wilds, I can use the PNG tuber model. Can I grab this, please? Yeah, I can grab the PNG tuber model and put it off to the side or something like that. I have a PC, but it's old. Yeah, my PC, so the one I normally read Twitch chat on is like back from like 2017 or something like that. She old. She old. She can't handle OBS. That's why it took me so long to stream on YouTube. Because partner had just gotten a computer and I was like a little weary to ask him, hey, can I use your computer to stream? He works a lot, so it's fine. But, yeah. I have coffee. That is my drink of the day. I have cold coffee. Yeah, I have a Microsoft Surface Pro. So Microsoft Surface Pro, I think 3. And they're currently in like, I think 12. So that just says something about how old my computer is. I'm pretty sure they're in like 12. They're in like 11 or 12 for Surface Pros. Your girl's saving up eventually for either a new one or getting a drawing, just straight up getting a drawing tablet. So so I can do stuff. Actually, let me get my tablet picture. So I'm technically working. Image. What? Huge. Huge. Big. There we go. I completely forgot about this thing. But yeah, so we'll see, we'll see. I don't really wanna graduate from IRIAM, but they pushing my patience. Sadly. I hate it. I hate saying it like that. Hi, Star! Hello! I see that you're lurking. I just checked on, YouTube or not YouTube, on Twitter and saw Lavi's throat is bad. We were just talking about scheduling stuff, so hope she's okay. Possible. I need to make that a meme of frogs liking toes. I need to make that like a little sticker meme. I feel like that would be cute. Like a frog biting like Momo's shoe or something. Or a toad biting Momo's shoe. Yeah, that was the unofficial plan. So, like, it's dependent on how IRIAM goes. I'm not really liking the climate that they're supporting a little bit. And like some of their business choices are a little worrying. I mean, it all started with the one ad that became a meme because they spelled VTuber wrong on an official ad. Yeah, VTuber. Didn't I post it in the memes channel? Cry laughing about it? But yeah, it's rough. Who said good print? Hi Abe, welcome, welcome, hon. Good print, good print. To the ad. Who said good print? Thank you for the hydrate, Jay. Can you take a sippy? Yep. I got coffee today. Does coffee count as hydration? It's liquid, so I mean... I consider it if it's liquid, it's hydrating you. Yeah, no, that's my question! Who said that was good to go? Especially since it wasn't like a moving ad, if I remember right. It was just like one of those standing ads for YouTube. I saw it on YouTube, at least. Like a banner ad. I was like, no shot! Who in their ad department did this? It was really funny though. I will admit. But if I do find it's on freaking Roblox, I'm going to crash out, man. I don't need to fight more kids. I'm so tired. This magical girl's tired of having to pause my stream to try to figure out if someone's a kid or not. That's why I made it a rule for my mods. If you see anything Roblox, Thanos snap them. Roblox, Poppy Playtime, FNAF. Unless they're a streamer on the platform. That too. If they get asked, after like 5 seconds, eat them. Yep. Yep, that's pretty much how I do it. That's what I've told my mods to do. Which I need to add you to the mod area, Spark. Since you're a Twitch mod. Hang on, let me do that real quick. I'll give you a different role. Of Twitch mod. Where are you at? You're in here, aren't you? There you are. For now, I'll just give you the regular mod role. Where is Witchgiver? There it is. No pin. Pin message. There we go. You were modded by Droppy? You collect VTubers to mod for, like, Pokemon cards. I say jokingly. That is a joke. I realize how I didn't even ask. I got modded by somebody, I don't know who it was. I just got modded by a random person. Hi Teeth Man! Welcome, welcome! Also, hello Snowflake! Welcome, welcome! I am MomoYumeko, magical girl in training. I do cozy streams, TTRPG streams, and gaming. Over here on IRIAM, and a few days a week over on Twitch. Welcome, welcome! We're doing some, technically, co-working. weekly co-working, making character sheet. I just saw something really funny in a chat. And it's just a box of cats with the captions, "Get in, loser, we fits." And I love it. I love it. I'm stealing this. Hang on, I'm sending it in the, memes. There it is. There, and yeah, we're gonna forward it over. Hee 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 hee. I'm a meme stealer sometimes. Alright, I need to actually do this. Keep getting sidetracked. I keep going squirrel. So I need to add these to Seraphim Sheet. Actually. So we got our bloodline powers, right? Yeah. Bloodline powers. We got Disruptive Blood Rage. That's our first one. Copy. Squirrel? Where? Control V. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Control Shift V. There we go. Plus 2 to cast defensively. Wow, I can't spell. Cast defensively. Stacks with... Oh. I should put 4 enemy to cast defensively. Within reach. Stacks with disruptive. There we go. Oh? I haven't heard somebody talk about slime in a hot minute. Squirrel, where? Yeah, I get a little squirrel brain sometimes. Depends. I like slime. I haven't made slime in a hot minute myself. It's like very therapeutic. Especially if you have like hand issues like I do sometimes. It's nice to like squish and squeeze. I have a stress ball somewhere that I usually use. What? I have hand problems. My right hand locks up real bad and it's painful. And it helps like, yes, playing with slime. Cause I get like the kind of like, what? And sometimes it smells good too. I get the like, it's almost like, oh, what is it called? It's like a clear slime. That has like rocks and stuff in it a lot of times. And I like the texture and stuff. And it's normally like kind of like more held together kind of slime. And you can just like play with it. It helps my hand, okay? Except Spark. I like slime. It's fun. We need Arcane Blood Rage. Paste. Oh wait, wrong one. Control Shift. There you go. Arcane Blood Rage. When enter Blood Rage. Pick spell to active Searing Rage. Blur. Let's see, blur. Protection from arrows. Protection from arrows. Resist energy. Resist energy and spider climb. There we go. Effect ends after rage ends. There we go. Hello Hannah, welcome, hun. I am MomoYumeko, magical girl in training. I do cozy streams, TTRPG streams, and gaming. Over here on IRIAM, and a few days a week over on Twitch. Welcome. We get our third blood rage power, which is greater arcane blood rage. And we're going to paste without formatting. There we go. And that gives us... Oh! What do you mean I can have spider climb and displacement? Or haste and like blur at the same time? What do you mean the deaf robot can do this? Hi, Sanic. Welcome, hun. Dear God, I think Seraphim has become the... You have become Darlic. Yeah, no, that's terrifying. The deaf robot should not have these abilities. I mean, technically she's not supposed to, because it is a blood rage. And a lot of it's like... Warforged aren't supposed to be able to be affected this way, but, you know, a little bit of DM fiat. I'm just gonna put as Arcane Blood Rage. No, I have not. There's a new Resident Evil movie coming out? I was not expecting that. Displacement. Or haste. Oh dear God, and I also get 3.5 haste. Interesting. I wonder how that's gonna go. They have most of the abilities you just described. Yeah, no, so I'm doing a Blood Rager. So this is for my cohort for Saint. And it's a Blood Rager Warforged Warpriest. Well, Warforged Blood Rager Warpriest Gestalt. Because I hate myself. So we don't get Caster's Scourge until 12th level. Unironically, I'm pretty sure I could get Disintegration, I just don't want it. Seraphim's mostly kind of selfish in her casting. So most of her Blood Rager abilities are going to be on self. Most of her spell casting. I don't know, I don't think actually that she could have Disintegration. Let me look at the spell list. Where's the spell list?
Relax and let Kroger Delivery handle.
Nope. Pretty sure I cast from the... Okay, yeah, Blood Rager spell list. Let me see here. Do I get Disintegration? Doesn't look like it. No, I don't get Disintegration. That's okay. About a private investigator that used to be a newspaper writer. That's interesting. I would have to look into it. I need to look into that. That seems like an interesting bit to go with the Resident Evil movie. Does it take place like when it first happens? Because at the rate that the Resident Evil movies were going, at least back when I was watching them decently, we pretty much got deep into the apocalypse, like the Mad Max type stuff. After Resident Evil 9. Interesting. I'll have to look into it. I'm interested. One of these days I need to do like a Resident Evil marathon. What's my... Oh right, my bonus spells were... So we got Magic Missile. Magic Missile, then we get... So spells known. We get 5 first level and 4 second level. For spells known. Baseline. Oh wait, no, that's baseline. Hang on. So we get bonus spells, so spells per day. So we just get more spells per day. Okay. Pretty sure. Oh, wait. Receives bonus spells per day. Okay, yeah. So that's just per day. Cool. Oh, nice! Resident Evil movie watch along tonight. That would be nice. I would have to find it. I don't have any streaming services right now. so I'd have to figure out if it's like on YouTube or something. Season 3 of Fallout not sooner than they said they were gonna. So are they releasing it on time, or are they gonna be, like, prolonging it until later? Oh, I forgot that. Wait, Fallout 5 is coming out soon? Also, ad for anybody over on Twitch End is starting in 5 minutes. I mean, I hope we get Fallout 5 soon. Also, hello, Dream Tripper. Welcome, welcome, hun. Won't be out until after Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah, no, Elder Scrolls 6 has been in the cooker for a while, which honestly, I'm fine with. Then I should be in my 50s. Brother, I'm gonna be like 40 by the time we get Elder Scrolls 6. They're gonna milk Skyrim for another 2 decades. It's gonna be awful. I am 50. Yeah, no, yeah, it's gonna come. It's gonna come horribly. I don't want to move to Unreal. I mean, understandable. I freaking hated working in Unreal Engine. Back when I was studying game design. To be fair, I'm not looking forward to them milking, freaking, Skyrim for the 80 billionth time. I swear, I think we have a Skyrim release every year. Probably gonna be a buggy mess. Yeah, no, it's going to be awful. It just works. At this point, the bugs are a feature in Elder Scrolls games. We're gonna have the bendy trees from freaking, Cyberpunk. I don't know if anybody remembers the day 1 Cyberpunk bugs. Yeah, 76. I honestly like 76. I played on PlayStation a little bit. I like 76, it's fun. I just like exploring in it. Did you like it at launch? I didn't play it at launch, is the thing. I waited for it to go on sale. Especially since I just graduated high school, and I was trying to get into college at the time. How'd you like your cardboard disc? Yeah, no, one thing I'm very sad with. Dang! Yeah, no, Cyberpunk had one of the worst day 1 launches. Hello, Elijah Hugs. Welcome, welcome, hun. Dang! That's insanity. Yeah, I didn't know that it was, like, bricking people's PCs. A friend of mine had it day 1 for the PlayStation, for the PS5. And while it was buggy, he liked it. I'm glad that they did a lot of updating. It did? Oof. I wonder if console, that there was a difference between console and, computer. Because console, the same friend had 76 day one and it didn't break anything. It didn't break his console. Oh, ooh, ugh. I have a weird thing with games accessing my kernel. I normally end up looking into the game before I get it, that when they access kernel level stuff, to make sure that, like, I think Warframe is kernel levels? I would have to look, because their, anti-cheat is, like, hardcore. They are super anti-mod. Like, you can't mod 18, or Warframe. I don't think so. I'd have to look at it. I'll definitely put that in the, watch later list. Yeah, send me the link. I like looking into stuff like this. Gaming stuff is really fun. And it's something I'm passionate about. I've always liked the gaming industry. Or at least looking into it. Okay, so we need 5 first level and 4 second level, so... I'm gonna do that. Here is the spell list. Here. So, first level... Blade Lash? That'd be kind of interesting. Unironically, I use a glaive for Seraphim, so I have the 10-foot reach because I use a pole arm. Ooh, my phone is dying. Hang on. You guys are on life support. Let me put you guys on. Plug you guys in. You have a free 10-foot pole? Yeah. Well, okay, so what it is, Seraphim/Saint uses a glaive as their main weapon. And then a rapier as their offhand for when the enemy gets too close. Seraphim is the Warforged, Saint is the demon. The 10-foot pole, I don't think you can attack with it. It's mostly used for detecting traps. But we don't really do dungeon crawling often. It's really funny. Saint was built around being stealthy. Still is. Seraphim and Saint are very stealthy. They're some of the stealthiest characters in the West March. But it's super funny because they don't use the 10-foot pole often because they don't have trap finding. Because they're not a rogue. So they're just going to be using the thing, and they're always with, someone that has trap finding. Whether it be Dexter, because I'm pretty sure Dexter has trap finding. Somehow. Celeste, who's a bard rogue. I think she's a rogue. Yeah, because she has sneak attack. Yeah, she's a rogue. Everybody's gestalted, so... I don't need Guardian's armor. Her skin's her armor. Frostbite, Golrum's armor, make a suit of armor or shield erupt into 1,000 spikes, causing damage to natural attacks against you. Ah, no. Ice armor. Infernal healing. I might grab infernal healing. Jump, lock arm. Actually, no, I'm gonna grab mage armor for sure. So, mage armor. Seraphim's supposed to be a little bit tankier than Saint. Night blindness, I might grab that. Phantom blood. I could grab protection from evil. Oh, would that make sense though? Well, I mean, Seraphim protecting herself from other demons trying to possess her would make sense. Because her thought process there is that she was made for Saint. They are her other half. So, she doesn't let any other demons in there. I might grab that. Touch of bloodletting, touch of combustion. I could grab True Strike, but I get a full BAB, so I shouldn't need it. That would allow me to full power attack. Oh god, now I'm just imagining set up phase. I rage. I cast, True Strike. Next round, I'm raging, so I get the plus so much to my strength and con. I can cast while I'm I can keep up spells while I'm raging, mind you. And I have a plus 20 to hit, and I'm charging. Because, Seraphim's a charge build. You know what? Yeah, we're picking up True Strike. That's just funny. Get bonked with a Zend Outrager. Yeah, so, Blood Rager is really cool because, they can cast while they're enraged, which she is actually a very calm rager. The concept is that she is very particular and methodical in her ways of combat. Because she has two goals. Protect Saint at all costs, and to get revenge for what is done to them. Those are her two goals. That is Seraphim in a nutshell. Keep in mind, this is the cohort for the little guy. I got 3 more spells, so I'm probably gonna grab... Do we have an enlarged person? Because I think I still count... Yeah, I'm a living construct. I still count as a humanoid. I'm pretty sure. Can I use... Hang on. Let me look. Can I use enlarged person on Warforged? Okay, yeah, no, so the living construct, Yeah, I'm reading that it's, so let me look at Living Construct real quick. I'm pretty sure it counts you as a humanoid for your benefit, but I would have to check. 3.5e password. Need the Eberron book. Basics, races. Scrolling down. There's the Warforged. Living constructs. Not immune to mind affecting effects. Okay, I think it does count. No, 3.5e edition. That's our whole West March. We play in 3.5 and Pathfinder First Edition. Added to it. So it's a situation of, take 3.5e's rules over Pathfinder's rules, unless the rules don't exist. Yeah! Yeah, I know of, the 3.5 MMO. I used to play it a little bit back, about maybe a year ago. A bunch of us in the West March were actually playing it. I was playing a tiefling, I'm pretty sure. A tiefling, I think, sorcerer of some sort? No, I was playing a bard. I wasn't playing a sorcerer, I was playing a bard. Because, surprise, surprise, I like tiefling bard. I am a walking, LGBTQ side. Bloodbath. It was bloodbath. Cause yourself and enemies to bleed. Amplify, latent, no. Bouncy body. No. Yep, yourself and enemies. It's got a close range of 25 feet plus 5 feet every 2 levels. You cut yourself with a dagger, dealing yourself 1d6 points of bleed damage. So long as you keep taking this bleed damage, your targets each bleed for 1d6 points of damage at the beginning of their turns. The bleed damage is on any target ends if that target receives magical healing, or if your bleed damage ends for any reason. This spell has no effect if you are immune to bleed damage or can otherwise reduce or ignore the bleed damage to yourself. So it's not good on the Warforged, but let me look. Do they? I would assume yes, they can take bleed damage. Because I don't think, so they can get, like, critical hits, non-lethal damage, stunning, that sort of thing. ability damage, death effects, all that. Yeah, no, it doesn't say anything about bleed damage, but I also don't think... Warforged are... So, like... Let me get my brains here unscrambled. So, Warforged, they have the living construct subtype. So they get a lot of stuff from being a construct, but also not being a construct. They essentially count as both a construct and a humanoid. Like, they could be resurrected and all that, like a human, but they can't be, like, they don't have to eat or sleep or breathe. But they still, you know, get the effects of a consumable. Like, magic items, food, potions, and, like, heroes' feast. It's really interesting. I like Warforged. They can be healed with, Cure Light Wounds or a Repair Light Damage. They can be healed by both. I think that's a 5e thing that they added in. That they can only be healed via Repair Light Damage. At least I'm pretty sure. Back when Seraphim wasn't fully fixed, because this was like a whole arc in the West March. Seraphim was an object at the beginning of the war arc, and then Saint slowly fixed her over the course of like 2 years in game. Technically IRL too. Because Saint has the architecture and engineering skill. Because he comes from a very scientific society. I definitely suggest 3.5 if you ever get a chance to play it. It's really fun. Although Pathfinder 1st Edition is a close second to me. I'm biased because I played 3.5 with my dad. That's how I got into D&D, was playing 3.5. But I do like Pathfinder a lot. I like the hybrid classes. I'm a sucker for the hybrid classes. Oh, they have light fortification. Wait. They also get a +2 armor bonus. Okay, we're adding that real quick. I completely forgot about that bit. That, and we have light fortification. Automatically, we're just gonna put that on the armor. Where's my armor? There it is. There we go. Yeah, no, so, baseline, this is what all, Seraphim has on her shell, because she has a mithril Warframe, or Warforged shell. So, she's made of wood and mithril. It is +1 Shadow, Silent Moves, Mithril Warforged shell, implanted with a lesser crystal of adaptation. which allows her to ignore planar alignments and and has ongoing endure elements. Hello, Chandler! Welcome, welcome, hun. Are they immune to sleep? Yes, they do not need to sleep. I don't think they're immune to it. Let me check. Are they immune? It says they do not need to sleep. Yep, they have immunity to sleep effects. Immunity to poison, sleep effects, paralysis, disease, nausea, fatigue, exhaustion, effects that cause the sickened condition, and energy drain. They also do not heal from lethal damage naturally. I'm doing good today. How are you today, hun? Yeah, no, I love Seraphim. She's a fun little goober. Alrighty! Welcome, welcome! So, I am MomoYumeko, magical girl in training. I do cozy streams, TTRPG streams, and gaming over here on IRIAM, and a few days a week over on Twitch. So we're currently doing a star event, right now, but if you have any questions about the app, I'm willing to say, I'll go ahead and say how you get an avatar is you have to go through IRIAM to do it. I don't know if they still have their applications open. I have to check. I'm pretty sure they do. Outside of that, there's a lot of different people on here that are really nice. If you get a chance, go ahead and check them out too. But yeah, I mostly do cozy streams or playing games. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna pin this so I don't lose it. There we go. Did you just jingle keys at me, Jay? I'm 26. Jingle keys. Yeah, the wounds don't close like a normal person. Oh, lobby's online. I might still do stream on. I might end stream actually. Thinking on it, I've been streaming for about 2.5 hours. I need to lock in and do the sheet real fast. I might go over to Lobby's stream. I don't know if she's streaming on Twitch. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, she's not streaming on Twitch right now. Yeah, nobody I normally go and raid on Twitch end is streaming, so. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go over to Lobby stream. If you guys want to raid her, feel free. She is sick. She's sickly. Thank you for the head tap. I hope you guys have a good night. Stay safe. I don't have to come and protect you guys. And goodbye! Have a good night, everybody! Bye-bye! Bye-bye! Stay safe, everyone!